All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Curran with Brian the Grizzly, and we are going to talk about the brand new Disney Pixar movie Elemental. So Brian, you got a couple girls. How many times did you see this already?
I've only seen it 3 times so far. It's not that much.
Yeah, not too bad. I only seen it once. I have a kid, but too young for theaters. So
They're never too young for theaters.
Oh, yeah. I don't feel like getting kicked out of the theater. Like, but yeah,
that definitely happens.
Yeah, exactly. But you guys, quick synopsis before we break down the good and the bad.
Let me pull it up right now. I had it up. Okay, you ready?
Go for it.
All right. In a city where fire, water, land, and air residents live together, a fiery young woman and her go with the flow guy. Discover something elemental. How much they actually have in common. Oh, okay. I was like, go with the flow. Who's that? Oh yeah, he's water.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. It was very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, the main two characters were Ember, which was played by or voiced by Leah Lewis, and Wade, which was Mamadou Assi.
Mm-hmm.
So just right off the bat, we'll get into some of the good stuff. I thought the voicing was great. The voice actors, the main characters, I thought they were really, really good voice actors.
I was surprised, honestly. I had no clue. Like Leah, I didn't know what race she was or anything, how she was, and it surprised me how multicultural the entire cast was.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved it. I really did love it, and it made so much sense. And it's one of my really good parts of this movie. They know how to bring all type of people in.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's a love story at its core of these two. Like I know we've been saying it, like a Romeo and Juliet. Two people from two different groups finding love, in their differences and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it's really like an immigration story too.
It is very much so.
It really, really is, and I didn't expect. There you go, Jorge. The director is based off his immigrant experience. So. Yeah, and you could tell, like, this is like somebody who's been through it and knows, like coming to America and like, hey, we want to stay with you, and you're like, and the door slams in your face, But
even the leaving your home country, that was so hard. Just watching it, I was like, oh my goodness, it was crazy, and how his father didn't even respect him enough to. Oh my god, it was so well done with those type of stories.
Yeah, I think this one did. The big thing that's going on right now is like generational trauma and stuff like that. Encanto, Coco, what's the other one? Turning Red. This one does it as well, but I think this one probably does it some of the best ways. You know what I mean? Because it's like it wasn't a constant fight. Your family. It was. You tried so hard to be what you were expected to be, and you kind of you never got to experience your own self-worth.
We didn't. So, we want you to be who you're not going to be who we thought you were going to be. We're going to allow you. You never learn how to be the person you want to be.
Yeah, but it wasn't like malicious. I feel like in other movies it might be a little bit more malicious. Like oh, you have to be blah blah blah. This one was like,
I want the best for you.
She grew up with it, and she loved her family so much. Ember, she like loved her family. She's like, I need to do this because that's what you do, kind of thing, And it wasn't like I hate you. You don't let me do this. It was. I think it was dealt with the same issues, but in a different direction, and I thought it was done very well when it came to like that part of it. Plus the immigration part and the whole city, and how people saw the fire people, and stuff like that. And
I thought that was interesting, but it also reminded me very much of Chicago. How like when you have parts that are only for this specific group of people. So in Chicago we have Chinatown, we have Little Village, we have little areas that are specifically only this group of people, and that's what I felt like it was. Like you couldn't go downtown, you couldn't go downtown Manhattan, you couldn't go these other places. you had to be in your area, and
Mhm.
that's the only place you felt comfortable was in your area.
Yeah.
And when they blurred the lines and realized you go to other areas and you could have something special for that's part of you, you can go anywhere. And I thought that was interesting. You know,
Yeah. 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 It definitely reminded me of a lot of Chicago. Like you said, that was the first thing, like as progressive as Chicago is,
it's
it's
very still
very segregated.
very segregated. Yeah.
Very segregated. I think it's probably one of the most segregated cities in the United States.
Mhm.
So seeing something like this, we're like, oh no, here's even in the ghetto where she kind of lived at, that was still kind of segregated too. So it's not just all the way from the top to the bottom. It's like everybody.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
but yeah, that was good. And then but then you get like so she's like down in the ghetto, immigrated
Immigrant.
family, immigrant
Mhm.
family, and then you get Wade, who I thought was done well because he's the rich boy. He's a
Mhm.
rich boy. He's got the nice stuff and he lives in a nice high rise in the city, and all his family support him with whatever he does, and he doesn't know what he wants to do. So it's kind of like the stereotypical like white kind of guy, story, quote unquote. But yeah.
That's hilarious. But it's hilarious. You get the white
Hmm.
story to the blackest dude that you can find over there, Mama do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome. But that's what you do. You take stereotypes and turn it on his head. And I think that's
Exactly.
very.
Exactly. Because like from Ember's side, especially when they cut back to the old scene of the dad,
Mhm.
um it was very like Chinese.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm like the way they were dressed and even the way they bowed and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I thought that was kind of interesting. So yeah, but Wade was just like a dude in the city, very, I don't say not a Chad because it was, I mean, not that bad, but he was a cool guy, and like him being emotional was accepted. Him being himself was just accepted because that's what you know higher people who don't need to be who people who are not being judged can do whatever the hell
Just
they
be
want.
yourself.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You could,
Yeah,
yeah. Exactly.
yeah, which is like the real world. So
So okay, I missed something. And I think it's probably because we went to the bathroom a couple times because
mhm.
that's what happens when you go to the movie theater with kids. Um, what happened to Wade's dad?
I don't think I'm trying. I only seen it once. I don't remember them telling. Horror Geek. I think you've seen it from what you're looking in the comments. If you know, let us know. But I just think he just died when he was young, right?
Like I thought it was gonna be something silly like see, he was a glass of water for somebody or something
He
like
was
he
somebody
went to
drank him.
he went to a pipe and never returned. Like
Yeah, yeah. I don't think they really they talked about it, but they didn't really like stay
it's,
on it that
it
much.
said that he was sad, and I don't know what that
Yeah,
meant. Ever since my dad was gone, and I was just
yeah,
like, I don't know what actually happened. And I was like, man, I've seen this, all this times. And I'm like, and still have no idea what happened to his father. So,
yeah. Which maybe for the best because it's not his story to tell.
mhm,
But even for somebody like him, it's not like he doesn't have the perfect life, but he still like makes the best of it,
mhm.
kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad they didn't touch on it, but I would have liked to known like what
Even if it was
happened.
just kind of hinting at it. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened. That's all.
yeah. So, but yeah, I really don't remember
Because
what.
it would made it more Romeo and Juliet if he went out to go put out a fire and he evaporated.
And he evaporated. Well, that would have been too bad because he like died a hero because like yeah, I don't know. Like he instilled this like it doesn't matter attitude to his son, where his son's like, I love you, I don't care, you know.
Yeah, but
So
if it was a fire
if it was a
made
fire,
by the fire people, that might be a big Romeo and Juliet type of thing.
yeah, yeah, but it might be too much for an easy plot. We just talked about another movie with an easy plot where you don't want to
Yeah.
go too crazy with certain things,
But it
you
is
know.
Pixar,
But
so
it is, yeah,
they usually do kick you in the nuts. So
yeah. I was waiting for it the whole time, and when they said he's died, I'm like, oh, there's gonna be some crazy story, and it really wasn't. It was just like, oh,
Mhm.
he died. It was sad, and you make
Yeah.
glass,
Yeah.
and now it's like right on to the next thing. So, but yeah, I didn't mind that. Any other good stuff before we get into the bad stuff?
I love the way that the glass making thing. I thought that was
Mm,
so good. and her having talent that she never even realized she had until she kind of was able to step outside of her own little world. And
Yeah.
you realize that this is something you've been doing all the time is actually something very special.
Mhm.
And it's brilliant and it's beautiful, and people can appreciate what you do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of very cool too.
Yeah. Well, even going off of that real quick, there's something she kept getting angry, and you're like, oh, she's a flame, so she constantly explodes and this and that, which was a good, funny thing because like it's what you expect from a fire person, like rage issues.
Mm-hmm.
But then like Wade's like, oh, maybe it's your rage trying to tell you something. So I was like, oh, I'm like, that's interesting because then it's like your inner gut. Like, what is your inner gut? What is your gut telling you? And the whole time, telling you is like, you don't belong here. That's why you get angry. It's like, it's not what you want to do. You're forcing it. So, when you're being forced to do something, you tend to get aggravated and agitated easier. So
quick to anger. Yeah.
So I did like that. I really liked Wade. I didn't think I was going to like him at first because just the constant crying.
Yeah.
No,
crying. Even the fact that he was going to turn her in, I was like, dude, why you turn her in?
He's crying as he does it though. He's like, oh, that's another ticket, and it's like, and like I get it, because it's the turning on the waterworks, it's like the whole water thing. All his family did it too, so it didn't get annoying, but it was weird in the beginning. I'm like, oh, I don't like this guy, and then you wind up really liking him. But I don't we'll get into some of the bad stuff. Any dislikes?
It's just a simple plot. I think the only dislike I really have is it's very simple. It's not a story. This is not a news story. This is not Up. This is not something that's more complicated. It's pretty simple. But sometimes the best movies know what they are supposed to do. Give you a simple story and you just enjoy the journey. So
yeah,
that being simple is not really a bad thing. I think the really bad thing is that you put it out in the wrong time. You should have put it out when it could have. You did if this movie came out a week after Flash, I think it would have made even more money.
Yeah,
it would have been the #1 movie for all these weeks that even passing Indiana Jones. It would have made more money one more week later.
Yeah, I bet you they're kicking themselves in the butt. Move it a week, so it would have been this and Jennifer Lawrence, and this would have won, guaranteed. This would have
drowned her.
So, so but I mean, it wound up doing better than Flash in week 2. So, it could have been a #1 movie if it would have pushed back one week. And you were exactly right with that one. But we have some of the best stuff for me. I really didn't have too many. It was a lot of cliche stuff, which I expected. The dad, what was his name? Flary. I think it was Flary. What was his name?
I don't remember if it was Flary or not. I can't remember what the dad's name was, but
I know the mom was Cinder.
Yeah. So is it Bernie?
Was it Bernie?
I feel like his name was Bernie. Because I think Flary was one of the guys that was in the shop. And
maybe
Florida it's another one that was in the shop. But
I think, it was Bernie. I'm looking at it right now.
I think Bernie's the one, yeah.
Yeah. Which, they're all flame, fire kind of joke, Cinder, Bernie.
Cinder, Bernie, exactly. That's why I feel like he's named Bernie.
Yeah. Here you go. There's a controversial take. Up peaked in the first few minutes.
Up kicked you in the nuts in the first few minutes.
yeah. You're not wrong, but it's still a good movie. But I mean, that's what Pixar movies do, is like they need to get you in the emotions really quick, like super, super fast. And like they need to emotionally attack you. And then you kind of stay there for the ride because you want to feel better by the end of it. So I think this one did that, but I don't think it did it the best. They like, if you want to, like other Pixar stuff where it needs to hit that emotional center fast, this one did it, but it should have gone a little harder, I think, or something like that. But it was still good. It was like you get like oh, people are assholes, and this family is trying to just do the best they can.
I think this was a good shot. This was a good comeback movie for Pixar.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too much of anything, but Pixar needed a movie to show that, we don't have to go Disney Plus. We don't have to go straight to streaming services. we're gonna start showing you movies that you like, storylines that you like, that adults can also like, just like kids. And I agree exactly what Horror Geek said. They should have marketed more, leaning into the immigrant status of all these people and how it is to come to a new country and make a world life for yourself. They should have really leaned into that, because I think you would have got a lot more people that would be interested in seeing the movie. And I think that's another reason why this movie will have legs and why it has legs
Yeah.
overseas internationally.
Yeah. 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 The immigrant thing too, was really big, but also, like, as Americans love that, like, pick yourself up by the bootstraps kind of, thing. And that's what the family did, Ember's family did, the Lumens, you know, he created a business, worked a business, did it all himself, and gave him his family a good life, so it's like, so it's not just, it's the immigrant, it's the hard work pays off type of thing, and stuff like that. So yeah, so I think this one definitely is going to have some legs, for sure, especially seeing how it all depends how Indiana Jones this week does, but I could see it being in the top 4, 5,
No, this movie is going to be top 3 still.
top 3, you think?
Even after Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that Elemental goes down to makes $15 million, and Across the Spider-Verse makes like $17 million, something like that.
Yeah.
And still going to be up there because The Flash is going to make 10.
if that. Oof. Oof. Yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to think of bad stuff, and I really can't think of any bad stuff. It's just a simple story, but I don't expect crazy stuff, with it. The animation was great, a lot, like, it was Pixar level animation, but yeah, bad stuff.
It created a good world. I even liked the problems they had, and then her, to keep the flame up, she has to, she's fire, and you trapped the fire in this room, so sucks all the oxygen, and he like starts to evaporate.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so cool. Everything was just well done. I really do. I thought that I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
It was a cute, good return to form for Pixar. So yeah. So, and like Horgy, this is the only other kid movie besides is Ruby Gillman
Was
is
it?
tracking.
It's
And then the
nothing.
Kraken.
Kraken. Exactly what I'm thinking. It's I Am a Teenage Kraken. I think that's going to be the other one.
Yeah. But it's always, Disney Pixar is going to do good, and it's doing good across these, like you said, international.
Ruby Gillman, I Am a Teenage Kraken. That's what it is.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's the full name.
It's Ruby Gillman,
there you
Teenage
go.
Kraken. Yeah.
And Horgy 48 million. So,
but that comes out this weekend, so that might hurt it a little bit. But I still think Elemental, they have more marketing in that one. People don't even know when Teenage Kraken was going to come out. So
yeah. I saw one trailer. That's it.
I saw 2, but that's because my kids really like it.
Yeah. I mean, that movie should have came out when Little Mermaid, like the week after Little Mermaid.
So you think mermaids are good?
Exactly.
Let me show you the real mermaid.
Yeah. So, but any other good or bad you can think of before we get into our ratings?
No. I think this is what we're talking about.
Yeah. Also, Catherine O'Hara was in this movie, which is pretty awesome. She was Brooke Ripple.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Which I believe that was the boss, right? Like Wade's boss.
Yep. No. Brooke Ripple is his mother.
Oh, the mother. Yeah.
Yes, that's the mother.
Brooke yeah. Okay.
The one that, I love you so much, I'll do whatever, I'll always be. Yeah, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. Seeing, I love seeing Catherine O'Hara and stuff. She's awesome. But cool. Let's move on to our ratings then, and we'll get into some of the comments. So over here at Spoiler Kings, we keep things nice and simple. We do now, later, never. Now means you got to go check it out right now. Later means you can wait until it's on streaming, catch it whenever you can. And never means just skip it. It's not worth your time. So what you giving this one, Brian?
If anyone has a kid, I'm going to give this, actually, surprisingly, I'm going to give this a now. If you have a kid, you should go out there and go see this. This is probably the best movie that's come out for for parents to take their kids in a long time.
Mhm.
I think it would. I'm telling you, if it didn't have the Flash to contend with, or Spider Verse to really across Spider Verse to contend with, if it was 1 week later, this movie would might have broke even. And they spent a lot of money on making this movie, and I think it would have broke even possibly if it just would have waited a week.
Mhm.
But I think it was afraid of the whole teenage Kraken and having two major kids movies at the same time. So it wanted to have space between that. But I think it's a better movie. And more people are more willing to give a chance. So domestically, I think it would have done well, being a little bit space from the Flash. But yeah, I think this is a now type of movie for kids, for parents with kids. If you don't have kids, this is a super later. This is a Disney Plus wait.
Yeah.
I think if that's what I'm. If you have kids, go now. If you don't have kids, Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Y-
I think I'm gonna agree with that. Because if this is a movie that should have been released on Disney Plus, but I get why they Pixar movies need to be a theater release.
Yeah, no more Disney
But
Plus.
yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna like you said you saw it 3 times. The next time I see it's probably gonna be when it's on Disney Plus in 3 months or whatever time frame. But if you have a kid, man, this is now. I think it's a really good story for kids. There's a nice little love story of accepting each other no matter what, kind of stuff. And there's differences, but you can look past the differences. The whole family thing, like there's some good stuff for kids that I think is good. Like it's like generational trauma, like I said, but if
Even accepting of yourself.
yeah, yeah,
Knowing
yeah,
who you are, and realizing that your parents accepted who they were, and they have to accept you for who you are. So I
yeah,
think that's another good thing that they talk.
yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, you always want to prove yourself to your family, but also you need to be able to be happy,
Yeah.
So, and that was like a big issue with this movie too, is proving yourself to your family, but while also being a happy person yourself, So, but yeah, if you have a kid, you know, I would definitely go watch it. Were both of your daughters like
It-
invested in the movie, or were they
yep.
bored at any time?
Nope. They both enjoyed both what was going on the entire time.
Yeah,
So
that's
they're
good.
just sitting there watching it like, oh yeah, I like this. No one went to the bathroom until no, we went to the bathroom once, but they ran by themselves, ran to the bathroom and ran back. I was like, oh man, you back already? What's going
I was like,
on?
you really like the movie. That's good. That's good. I mean, because that's what it's made for. It's little kids. 7 to 10. And
Exactly.
yours fits right in there. So yeah. So that's our rating. So let's get into Rotten Tomatoes real quick, and then we'll get into comments. So man, Elemental with the critics, 197 reviews from the critics, 76%. So as that is considered certified fresh, which is good. I'm like, I'll take that. The audience though, give it a 92. The audience is loving it. It
Because kids are going to watch it and they're going to be enthralled, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So if and parents are going to be happy because their kids are sitting down and they can take a break and watch a movie that's actually interesting, on different levels. And that's what a good kids movie has to have. You have to have
Mhm,
levels that the adults can enjoy it, and there's a level that adult can enjoy that the kid won't even realize that's there. If
mhm.
you have a movie like that, then that's when you have a hit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everyone needs to enjoy it, and this is definitely one of those. I'm trying to think if it had any like quote unquote like adult jokes. I don't think it really did.
No, but the whole idea of not, being an immigrant and then being not being accepted by your family and not being able to go back home and having to
Hmm.
make your own home there and start all over. That's a very adult theme.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not something that you usually think about as a child. You don't realize that your parents are dealing with those type of things. But that's an adult theme that I'm with it.
Thank you for everyone watching. Check us out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share our videos if you like this movie or any other movies that we've done in the past, trailer reactions. Hit that. If you're watching live, we're gonna end it here. If you're watching a replay, thank you guys for checking us out. Appreciate everyone in chat, Marklin, Travis, Horror Geek,
Horror geek,
Davis,
definitely.
all you guys hanging out with us all night. We appreciate that. And if you want to be part of the show, like all these guys were, hit that subscribe button with that bell notification so you know when we go live, and you too could be part of the Spoiler Kings channel. But that is it for us. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Let us know what you think. But we are out for the night. We are going to come back on Thursday.
Yes.
You know, hopefully, for sure, Secret Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Witcher? Question mark? I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, so, you know, as I said, I might do a little thing for Fubar. So
yeah, you should.
Yeah.
So cool. We appreciate everyone hanging out with us. We are out. Thank you guys. We will see you guys in the next live video. Later.
Thanks, guys.